Hello and welcome to my channel and my Christmas series. My name is Julia and today I'm playing with my Tim Holtz Globe die. This set of dies cut not only houses but also layering pieces for the roof and the windows, making it more three-dimensional. To make my life easier, I put double-sided adhesive on one side of my heavy cardstock, so the assembly of this globe will go easier. Then I tape all my dies to that sheet with some washi tape and run both houses and globe through my die cutting machine. There are so many small pieces, but it helps that the dies have numbers, so I know which roof goes on which house, and I split them up in groups so I can tackle one house at a time. To color my die cuts, I use Distress Oxide Inks. For the fronts of the houses, I use Tumbled Glass, Peacoc Feathers and chipped Saphire. I also use Speckled Eggs, a grey-blue color, for the sides of the houses, and I use Vintage Photo and ground Espresso for the rooftops and window frames. I use a dauber to put down my lightest colors and use the darker chipped sapphire to go around the edges of the houses, helping them to stand out from the other houses and the background. And I do the same for the rooftops, dab on the Vintage Photo and shade with ground Espresso. For the background in the globe, I blend the same blue colors, Tumbled Glass, Peacock Feathers and chipped Sapphire. I spend a lot of time blending, and now and then I put the panel with the globe cut out over my background so I can see how it will look. The die set also cuts out the snowbank for the village to stand on, and I use the same tumbled glass on the edges of the snowbank. It's finally time to start adhering my snowy village, and I put down the panel with the cut out globe over my background so I will know where to adhere my houses. Remember that I have that double-sided adhesive on all my pieces and I don't have to mess with glue. I can just peel off the backing and stick them down on my background. I use a dotting tool and some tweezers to stick down my pieces. There are so many small details, but I take my time and find the procedure quite therapeutical. While I adhere all my pieces, I want to thank you for watching and encourage you to subscribe, like or leave a comment. I am always curious what you would like to see on this channel. I use an orange marker to color the little squares inside the window frames, and the houses start to come to life. And if I feel unsure, I can always reference the picture on the packaging. I use a black marker to fill in the chimneys on the houses, and then I stick down the tiniest pieces, the bricks on the houses. I love the details in this die set. This set also cuts out clouds, a moon, some stars, and several pine trees. I ink up the edges of my clouds with chipped sapphire. I color the pine trees with markers in 2 shades of green and stick them down. Then I stick down the moon and stars, colored with markers in yellow and orange. Now, this is a Christmas village and I want some snow on the rooftops and pine trees. I have this wow embossing powder named White Puff Ultra High. I use a Versamark pen with sticky embossing ink and to fill in the snow and cover the sticky ink in that wow white puff powder. And when I use my heat tool, that powder will rise and leave a very snowy texture. It's now time to give the panel with the die-cut globe some love, and for that I have this background stamp from Hero Arts with snowflakes. I ink up the stamp with Versamark sticky ink and lay my panel on top, pressing down for a good impression. I cover the whole panel in wow vanilla white embossing powder. I like the vanilla because it's not a bright white. I use my heat tool to melt my snowflakes. You can't see it now, but when we add color, you will see what I was aiming for. It's time to ink up that snowflake panel, and I use Distress Oxide Inks in Tumbled Glass and Speckled Eggs. I ink up the edges with chipped sapphire. I use the same colors to tie the whole card together and make it more pleasing to the eye. It's almost magical how those snowflakes come to life when I add ink and use a paper towel to buff off the ink on those snowflakes. To make this into a card, I trim my snowflake panel down, and I have this light grey cardstock that I trim down to peek out behind my snow globe. But before I go forward to put this card together, I need some more snow. So I do the same procedure as last time. I fill in with the Versamark ink and cover with that wow white puff powder and heat set until I'm happy with the snow. I can now go on with inking up the edges of that grey cardstock, and then I use liquid glue to stick down my snowflake panel and add the base to the globe, which I cut twice to add dimension, and layer the brown base on top of the white. To avoid my card warping too much, I use double-sided tape to stick down the snow globe panel on the grey layer. I always pull the backing in the corners until I know exactly where I want that layer, and then I pull all the backing and stick down the main panel. My dear friend Linda sent me this sticker book with Christmas sentiments from Tim Holtz, so all I have to do is peel off and stick it on the base of the globe. I really thought this card was finished, but I wanted the card to really pop, so I went back into my craft room and cut a dark blue panel to go behind the grey, peeking out, and I used the double-sided tape to secure it. Now this Christmas card is finished, and I want to thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Until the next time, Merry Christmas and stay safe.